It was a typical St. Patrick's Day in my quiet suburban town. Green decorations lined the streets, and bars were filled with people celebrating and drinking. As a bartender, it was one of the busiest nights of the year for me. Little did I know, it would also be the most terrifying. I was working at my usual spot, a cozy Irish pub called O'Malley's. The place was packed with rowdy customers, all dressed in green and demanding their green beer. I was running around, trying to keep up with the orders, when I noticed a woman sitting alone at the end of the bar. She was unlike anyone I had ever seen before. Her skin was pale, and her hair was as white as snow. She wore a long, flowing dress that seemed to be made of mist. I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease as she stared at me with piercing blue eyes. I tried to brush off the feeling and went over to take her order. "What can I get for you?" I asked with a smile, trying to be friendly. She leaned in close and whispered, "I'll have a pint of Guinness, but make sure it's the darkest one you have." Her voice sent shivers down my spine, but I quickly poured her drink and went back to serving the other customers. As the night went on, I couldn't shake off the feeling that the woman was watching me. It wasn't until the end of the night when things took a terrifying turn. As I was closing up the bar, I heard a loud wailing coming from outside. It sounded like a woman crying in agony. I quickly locked the door and turned off the lights, hoping it would go away. But the wailing only grew louder and closer. I could feel my heart racing as I peeked out the window and saw the woman from earlier standing outside, her eyes locked on me. Without thinking, I ran to the back of the bar and called the police. When they arrived, they found the woman gone and no signs of anyone else around. I tried to explain what had happened, but they didn't believe me. They said I must have been drinking too much green beer. I couldn't sleep that night. The image of the woman's haunting blue eyes burned into my mind. The next morning, I went back to the bar to open up and found something that made my blood run cold. There, on the counter, was a note written in an ancient script that I couldn't understand, but I knew it was from the woman. As I was trying to decipher the note, I heard the wailing again. This time, it was coming from inside the bar. I followed the sound and it led me to the basement. As I opened the door, the wailing stopped and the woman appeared in front of me. She let out an ear-piercing scream and then vanished into thin air. I quit my job at O'Malley's that day and left town. I never returned, but I couldn't shake off the feeling that the woman was following me. I did some research and discovered that she was a Banshee, a spirit that foretells death. And I couldn't help but wonder, was she warning me of my own demise? To this day, I still can't explain what happened that St. Patrick's Day. But one thing is for sure, I'll never look at green beer the same way again.